Very recently, I released a new set of Tonex tone model captures based off an absolutely incredible Orange Amplifications OR30 amp. This was my first introduction to really playing through any Orange amps, and I've got to say this amp is absolutely spectacular, and it made for some really beautiful Tonex tone models. What I've done here is I've captured actually through 3 different speaker cabs for different flavors of this amp, but I also captured some DI tone models as well, which are amp only with no cab. Later in this video, I'll play you a full-blown demo video of listening to some of these tone models in a full production, utilizing the mix, combining the different tone models that are available in the collection. But today I'm going to take you through a few of them. There's a lot to go through here, so I'm actually just narrowing it down to one of my favorite bundles of the collection. These are all available separately at the links below. If you're so desired, you can get them all in one big bundle. But I've got to say, I've been really digging these tones. A very cool bright switch on the amp that allows us to kind of go from a real neutral, almost vintagey vibe to it, and then brighten it up and give it a little bit more, maybe, shall we say, a modern sound to it. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but that's kind of just what I tended to think of when I was kind of playing around with it. The bright switch is a little less effective when we get into the higher gain sounds, but some really great tones in here. I'm going to showcase those out of the mix first with a few different guitars, then we'll take a listen to them in the mix, and I really hope you enjoy. Links are below in the description to all the tone models that you'll hear in this video. All right, so here we are over in Tonex, and you'll notice here that I have the tone model naming convention. I basically have JS-OR30 DC, and that DC stands for double cream. And the reason is I captured the amp through the Rev Celestion G12H75 cream backloaded cabinet. It's a 212 cab. This cab sounds absolutely spectacular with so many amps that I put through it. And I actually have an entire series based around this cab, which is called the Double Cream series. And you can check that out on my website. But you'll notice here the naming convention after that is clean, and I have a parenthesized letter N, B1, B2. This is the neutral position for the bright switch, the N. The B1 is with the bright switch over to the left, and the B2 is with the bright switch over to the right. So this is going to be without any bright switch engaged. B1 is kind of a more subtle flavor of the bright switch, and B2 is going to kind of be all out. And you'll really hear the difference between these. I captured those for clean and for push and for OD1. OD2 and OD3, I didn't bother doing the different settings because there was such subtle difference. I actually just had the switch set over to B2, which is what I really liked. So starting over here on the neutral setting on the clean sound, I'm playing my Gibson SG on the bridge position. Neck. Back to the bridge. Now watch what happens when we engage the bright switch to the more subtle position. Now we'll go to the neck pickup. I think it's very cool that we have those different positions for the bright switch depending on the guitar we're playing or just what we're looking for as an end result. B2. Much thinner tone on that neck position. So a lot of possibilities there. Moving on to push 1, which is kind of the next level of gain, pushing the amp a little bit more on the neutral setting. A little bit more of a vintage vibe here, a little less cut, a little gooier sound, shall we say. Neck pickup. Now moving on to the bright switch in the first position. little more clarity and cut. When we move to B2, neck position. Now moving on to OD1 in that neutral position. Really went for a little bit squishy dark tone here because of the fact that we're going to add that bright switch in. So a little more vintage vibe here. Now moving on to the first position of bright switch. Neck position. Now this is where you hear a bigger difference, B2. Neck position. And then finally moving on to OD2, getting into a little bit higher gain now. And then finally, OD3. Neck pickup. Back to the bridge. Let's take a listen with some single coil pickups. Here I have my Vigier Expert Series Strat style guitar on the bridge pickup. Here I am on the clean neutral setting. Neck pickup. B1 switch bright in the first position, on the bridge position. Neck. Moving on to B2. Neck. So a nice variety there of clean tones and sort of brightness levels. Moving on to the first level of gain on push on the neutral bright setting. Position. Moving on to the first level of brightness back on the bridge. Neck position. think you'll agree these sound really nice regardless of guitar and pickup position. Bright 2. Neck position. And now moving on to OD1 with the bright switch in the neutral position. Neck. Again, much darker, kind of vintagey, gooey vibe to that. OD1 on the first position bright switch. Neck position. And then finally, a bright switch in the second position, or the brightest switch. So you can see there's a lot of possibilities here for just about anybody. Moving on to OD2. Neck position. And finally, OD3. That's back on the bridge position. Neck position. Let's give those a listen with a P90 pickup now. Here I'm with my Gibson Les Paul Jr. with a single P90 in the bridge. Let's move back to our clean neutral setting. I'll just go through these a little bit quicker. Move on to the bright 1 setting. And bright 2. Moving on to push 1 on the neutral setting. Bright 1 setting. And bright 2. And moving on to OD1 on the normal or neutral bright setting. First bright setting. Moving on to the second bright side. Moving on to OD2. And then finally OD3. did you guys think? I hope you enjoyed that look at some tones. I hope you agree with me that they sound quite nice, very inspiring tones, and they were a lot of fun to mess around with, both in and out of the mix. Thanks so much for tuning in and sharing your time with me. Please like the video, share it with anybody you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. Also, please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thank you guys again so much for sharing your time with me. Ciao for now.